Hello, people who are not me, but who may or may not be better than me at this game. It is I, Sire Goku, and welcome back to more Secret of Mana. In the last episode, I defeated Spiky Tiger after getting my ass handed to me by him. And I got the whip, as well as the boomerang and the bow and arrows. So let's check out our stats here for a second, make sure. Yeah, everyone's got, let's see, Eric's got everything maxed out so far. You just need to get the boomerang and the whip and one more sword. And what about Mark? Oh, he's got the most to level grind here, jeez. But if you recall, we were told we need to go to the Water Palace next. Or to find Undine. But I kind of want to power up my weapons. So that's going to involve having to backtrack back to the dwarf village. Oh, Mark's weapon skill is up. Level 1 in sword, good. But he still needs to gain another level in that, so. And Lena gained a level in boomerang, hooray! I only have 10 experience with the whip. God dang it. What is she missing? The sword. But how much? Yeah, he hasn't even gained a single thing in sword. Crud. I guess I'm gonna have to keep it like this for now. But let's use the cannon travel to go back to Gaia's navel. Because I want to power up my weapons. And then I'll cut back to getting back to the Water Palace, which doesn't take very long at all to get to. Because if you remember, after beating Tropicella, we now have a shortcut through the dwarf village. Booyah. But it's very important for you to power up your weapons before you go any further in the game, so. It costs a bit of money to use cannon travel, but you're gonna get the money back. I've probably already gained back more than enough of the money at this point. And I know Opaque Flake's been watching this because he's the only one so far that's been commenting on my videos, which, not that I want people to comment on my videos, I appreciate it, but the important thing is that he was saying that he found that the world map for this game is kind of confusing. I can kind of see him why he'd think that, but really it's not too bad. every single area in this game is pretty much interconnected. It's really only confusing when you actually get a chance to look at the overworld map, which we aren't going to be able to do for quite a while in this game, actually. But for now, it's really just all a straight line. You go from point A to point B with relatively no trouble at all. If not for the... I would say that Bravely Default, which I've been playing a lot of recently, has a more confusing map, if not for the fact that the world map marks where the heck you're supposed to go every time. Mark, get over here. I always hate trying to get down here because it keeps spiraling and I keep not going in the right direction, and probably because I'm a freaking idiot, and despite saying I know this game, I still get kind of stuck. Here we go. For those of you who have played this game before, yes, I'm probably not really doing the smartest thing right now, which is backtracking to power up my weapons, but I want to power up my weapons, dang it. Because if you don't power them up now, it'll be a little while before you can do it again. Yeah, it does cost money, but let's power up the boomerang. The boomerang becomes the chakram. And the spear becomes the heavy spear. And with that, now I'll meet you guys back at the Water Palace. Okay, and I'm back. Using the cannon travel is a much faster way to get back here. But now that I've powered up all my weapons, and coming back here, now we can progress the story. I just wanted to power up my weapons before going through here because, there's no reason not to, and it just makes things a lot easier. But anyway, if you remember, Luca told you to go to find Undine in the Water Palace, which is to the right here. And if you remember the end of my last video, I showed off this area, which is a very good area to grind. Which is why I went back and powered up my weapons, because it's actually very easy to level grind at this point. You just need to power up the boomerang and the spear now, so really it doesn't take very long. And since my whip is very close to leveling up to level 1, I'm just gonna do that real quick. There you go, Mark got level 2 in sword, and Eric's level 1 in whip now. Huzzah! So let's see. What would be a good thing to give Mark here? Spike Knuckles take really long time to level grind. I'll give him the whip. We'll swap him for the whip. Let's see. The girl's almost level 2 in Chakram already. Nice. She just needs to gain 1 in sword, 1 in spear, and 1 in whip. So there's that. Sorry if you catch that. I'm just talking to friends online as well as doing this. It's not a big deal though. Yeah, see. Actually, let's give him the spear because why not? And this is the next main dungeon of the game. Just be careful about the fish here. Sorry about the not talking. Let's turn off my computer here because... What the? Yeah, be careful here. You're just gonna run up, fight this thing here. Now what is this, you might ask? Well, it's a tadpole thing, and it's really simple. You just keep bashing at it until it goes down. It's really not that hard. However, once you get it down to enough, it's gonna become this lizard thing here. And I am cheesing the fuck out of it. If you can push it into this corner here, it's not even gonna attack you. I know that's cheating, but it's not my fault that you can extort, that you can cheese this boss. It's not often that you can actually cheese bosses like this. But yeah, if you get this guy down into a corner like this, he can't move. He is gonna cast Cure on himself though, which is gonna heal pretty much all his HP. But he only has enough magic to cast it 3 times. $40, $80, $90, over... See? You're already doing over 100 damage as it is. Even if you don't charge your weapon. There you go, see? 130? There you go. See? This boss can't do shit to you. If he didn't lock him in a corner like this, he would be able to eat you, which does lots and lots of damage. But once he runs out of healing... then he's pretty simple to beat. And we're already done. And we meet Undine. Thank you, I am Undine. My power is your reward. I'll give you two kinds of magic. Lena can use my recovery and defense magic. Booyah! Mark can use my battle magic. And me? Your mana sword will one day become more powerful than any magic. You can receive an elemental's power such as Ice Saber on your sword. Lena can cast Ice Saber on your weapon to turn enemies into snowmen. Booyah! And this! Take this with you. It is one of the mana weapons. Oh god dang it. And you got a pull dart. Another weapon to grind. Jesus Christ. But that's the last weapon in the game, so... call me anytime. Yes, and we don't have to be an overlimit or anything to summon Undine, or use Undine's powers. No one can stop me now. So let's check out these new magic abilities here. And this is the last weapon you get in the game, the pole dart. It's actually a javelin, but they call it a pole dart in this game. The girl's magic for Undine, Ice Saber, as it says. Turns your sword into an ice sword, and everything you slash, and everything you hit with your weapon gets turned into a snowman, which freezes them in place. And then you got Remedy, which cures status ailments, and Cure Water, which, as you saw during the fight with the Biting Lizard, which is the name of the boss I just fought, heals you for a good chunk of HP. Which is the main spell you're going to be using for the entire game. As for the Sprite's magic, you have Freeze, which pelts guys with ice balls, which does a good chunk of damage. Acid Storm, which does decent damage and lowers enemies' defense, as well as Energy Absorb, which absorbs enemy HP for the Sprite. And now you see on the status screen we have mana power level 1. What that means is now on the weapons skill level, if you press R, you can check your magic skill level. Undine can gain levels. Every 100 experience gains them a level as well. So we'll get to so let's show off the new stuff here. Freeze, it's not going to do much against these guys because they're already water elemental, but that's what Freeze looks like. You can also multi-target. If you multi-target, it does a little bit less damage towards every enemy, but you do damage to everybody. Simple enough strategy there. And now you also don't need to... You also won't need to buy very many healing items anymore because you have Cure Water, which heals almost 200, and is only level 0 at this point. That's still pretty dang good. And remember what I said before, where when you're actually carrying weapons around like this, you'll gain double experience when you fight things. This also includes magic. If your weapons are being carried while you're using magic, your magic will gain double the experience as it normally would if you were to use it inside of a town. See, Undine here has 9 experience. I think if you use it when you're not carrying weapons, you only get 3 experience per cast. But if you want to, but the best thing to do now is to probably just want to level grind Undine up to level 1 for the Sprite and the girl. And the best thing you can do for that is use up your magic. Well, here's something I normally do. Using the cheapest spell you can, you can actually spell grind here. If you cast a spell on yourself, then as soon as Undine disappears, you can cast the spell again. At least usually you can. Maybe I'm not getting the chaining right. But you can keep casting the spells over and over again. And you can see here she's gaining experience up the... Not nearly as much experience now because I'm not outside. Because see, she's at 25 right now. Let's see what she's at now. 29. So she's getting 4 experience per use, which is pretty good. I'm only going to show this one time. After this, you're not going to see me grind on screen. But I mean, you can do all that. The only problem, and then talk to Luca, and she'll heal you up. And there you go. Use Undine's power to stop the lava in the underground palace. Crystal orbs are made to respond or react to an elemental's power. Yeah, and so that's the next place you have to go. If you remember that area in the dwarf village that we couldn't get into before, now that we have Undine, we can actually go further in. But here's the best way to chain magic here. When you see... Notice how Lena's crouching here? As soon as she crouches, you can cast the spell again. So you can do that to chain cast. This also works in actual battles as well, which is what makes using magic kind of broken as hell in this game, because you can just cast spells over and over again, and enemies don't have a chance to move. Kinda like when I was fighting Spiky Tiger and he kept casting Fireball and Fire Bouquet on me, and I couldn't do anything to stop it because he was chain casting. So while it's annoying as heck for enemies to be able to do it, at least you can do it back, which makes things much easier. But again, this doesn't work for Sprite's spells, because Sprite has to actually physically attack guys. There we go. And Lena's magic skill is level 1 for Undine. Hooray! And I think I'm gonna call that a part. I know the last few minutes of this were kind of meh. I'm probably gonna cut ahead to me level grinding up to that point. Because before this I was already at about 20 minutes. So... But next time on Let's Play Secret of Mana, we'll go back to the Dwarf Village and progress the plot once again. See you guys then.